Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Here we are at today's race in Sebring with the LMP2. It's a bit of a change from the usual LMP3 shenanigans I do, as today the LMP3 is at Portimao in rather wet conditions. So I decided instead this week to have a go at IMSA, especially whilst it's here at Sebring. It's a rather good track for me, but I still dislike those bumps. But in the LMP2, there is a big difference versus the LMP3 with all that extra power and downforce, making it a rather fun combination. And we're in for a long race here, 45 minutes in the open. We've qualified in the middle of the pack, so it's going to be rather tight here in the first time into Sunset. It's a fantastic turn, but when you've got so much traffic, you've really got to be cautious around it.
Still there.
We've got a car in our inside coming into the actual turn one. We're going to play it safe, leaving plenty of space. You can see Sharon ahead going wide, so we're going to switch over down to the inside.
Yellow flag still there. There's an incident in.
Hold it tight as I can, bit of door banging, but that keeps us on the inside here, and we're ahead finally after that little section. Everyone's starting to sort themselves out. We've still got two cars side by side ahead of us coming into the hairpin.
Pool, car number 37.
It's very much all still to play for on this opening lap. It's worth mentioning this is top split. There are some really high rating drivers in here, so it's definitely going to be a challenge, especially with how rusty I am here in the LMP2. And especially here at Sebring, I love the track, but I hate the bumps. Especially that curb there, you can see just how much it lifts the car. Everyone's still jostling for position here, but we are keeping up with them quite happily. We'll be up one position on the opening lap, having gotten past Sharon, so if I can hold this, I'll be very happy. We've got a car off to our left there. I'm not sure if that's down to a contact or a spin, so we'll have a look at that at the end of this lap. So we're now under attack here from Sharon. He's got a good exit out of there.
Make him do all the work. Focus on your exits.
He's going to have a look to the inside. My best bet here is just to keep my speed into Sunset, which I can do with enough space on that inside, and then get that power down.
Turn one.
And we're ahead nice and easy as Sharon on the first lap. That done, let's have a look exactly what happened, not just to us. So this was that LMP2, and you can see he's just going to lose it on his own then. The cold tyres asking just too much of the car. The GTPs had a relatively clean start, only a couple sort of losing traction on those cold tyres, and this was a nice little move by this Porsche, driving down the inside as the two Chevrolets fight each other, but it gets on the curb and the car just doesn't like that. The GT3s, they weren't so lucky. They had a rather chaotic one, and this all started in turn one. It's Paul McLaren having to slow up and then just getting collected from behind with that Porsche. I will fast forward a few laps here to 5, and we are still fighting here with Sharon. He's right there with us trying to have a look, but I'm still holding on and just about keeping in touch with the LMPs ahead of us. It's going to be difficult trying to fend him off here, and here he comes down my inside, so I have to try and leave him space, but carrying my speed around the outside. Just about doing a little bit of door banging, but I felt we had the space left for him there, so let's have a look. He comes from pretty far back there. He's much more safe under braking than I am, and we just about leave him the space there, perhaps squeezed a little bit too much on the curb, but we both make it through safely. And again, a lap later here, we're just about now caught up to the cars ahead of us. As you see, Poole ahead, not doing too well through turn one, so we're right up behind him here, but he is still a fast driver. I'm hoping I can stay in contact with him and use that slipstream to sort of hold our position against Sharon behind us. We've all really closed up again here, but we're all in a nice tidy single file line, and Sharon's not done too well behind us. He's had a poor exit, and then watching the rear mirror behind, he's going to lose it under braking, unfortunately going round on himself. It looks like he doesn't get collected by the car behind, thankfully for him. So that's going to give us some good breathing room there, so I can focus on the cars ahead. And speaking of them, can see two going side by side, and that's not ended well. We've got to really check up there.
Running up. It looks like hop.
That's close for us, but we're able to get through safely. So let's have a look at exactly what happened. So this was Sharon chasing us down. He's trying to use his speed under braking, but he goes a little bit too hard and gets spun round. Thankfully, the car behind avoids him, but we're going to see a dangerous rejoin. So you can see that LMP2 coming round, and that was very close between them. He got extremely lucky with that kind of rejoin. Now, this was the two LMP2s going side by side. We've got the dive onto the inside, but there's just no space left for him as he puts his nose there. It gets very close as he starts rolling forward, really risking it there. So things did settle down, but this was another key moment for us.
That lap was
Everyone was sort of splitting up and starting to put in their own lap times, and we have now a damaged GT3 coming out of the pits in front of us, and I'm going to get big scares. He slows down so much on the apex. I get a bit of a wiggle as I try and get the power down to get down the inside, so I just lose so much time.
On your right.
You can see that's brought Sherrod back into contact behind us. He's really caught up and closed the gap now. And he's having a look down the inside, but we are just able to close the door on him there and get back ahead.
Stay smooth.
But we can see Sharon, he started to make up some time, only 1.7 seconds. And then a few laps later, we'll have a look here. This is Sharon making the move on the car ahead of him. He's going to do into sunsets. It's a very difficult one. He does well to look to the outside, then switch back to the inside and get that power down. This is one of the best ways you can make a move around sunset. But he's still under pressure here, coming back into turn one. Having a bit of a look, a dart to the inside, but they're not really making the move. Sharon holds it tight. Two LMPs behind him go off, which secures his position. But he kept his push. He was really good with his pace around here. And as we came onto lap 16, I was really back under pressure with him right behind me. But we are entering the most crucial phase of pit stops, and we're going to see Sharon behind us is going for the undercut as he enters the pits. That means I'm now in a really crucial phase, because I was planning to come in on the next lap.
The last lap of fuel.
So I now need to get a really good in lap here, pushing as much as possible to make sure that I will come out ahead of Sharon.
Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Now, I'm on a high downforce setup here, so I'm really just trying to carry the speed through these corners and let the aero help me through it.
Is now 6.3.
We can see ahead two GT3s going side by side into the hairpin. Some really close racing between them, but it's not what I want to see here.
15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go.
Throughout most of the race, I've been quite lucky with all the GT3 traffic being spread apart, so I'm worried this might cost me later into the lap. So we can still see they are going side by side here into the next corner. Some really close racing between these two, and I'm hoping it will stay that way for their sakes, but no. They've come together there, and it looks like the poor Mustangs come up worse for it.
These guys are fighting for position.
Try and get past this McLaren whilst losing as little time as possible. It's cost us a little bit there, so we'll have a look at exactly what happened. So these two are doing really well, side by side racing. It was very tight but fair between them, as we see here. The McLaren on the inside, keeping it tight, which allows the Mustang around his outside. As they start coming together there, unfortunately that was net code between them which brought them together. Now we have done our pit stop, and this is the moment of truth. We can see Sharon on our relative there. He's closing.
Pit exit's clear.
Just a second as we're coming up to the pit exit, but we are on the far outside of turn one, and as we can see there, emerging in front of us is Sharon. But we've done just well enough there, because we've come out in front of Sherrod.
Slower class car ahead.
So now the battle is on between us.
32.
So there's a good chance that I might be able to make this back up between me and Sharon, as we were close earlier. So I'm hoping if I can keep him under pressure and he's got the cars in front of him, this might still give us an opportunity to get past him. But as we can see here, coming into this hairpin, this Audi is going to really slow us up here and cost us some time. It's not his fault, but it's not what I wanted to see as I'm trying to fight and catch back up to Sharon. I'm at least hoping over the rest of this lap I'll be able to close up, and indeed we can see here a bit better through that corner there, helped by the aero, helping me get the nose of the LMP into the corner. But there is something I really don't want to hear at this stage. We've got the GTPs catching up to us because that lead driver of theirs is putting in some blistering time. I'm hoping it's not going to make it too awkward here. We're going to get through this section, but this isn't my strongest. You can see that GT3 has helped us a little bit there. Sharon had to dive to the inside to get past him, which is not the optimal line there.
Ahead is now 0.7.
Now we are right up behind him, but so is that GTP coming up behind us, and that has some real speed on him.
There's a faster car behind.
He's going to go down my inside, so I've just got to leave it open for him.
Clear right.
I'm just hoping I can cut back underneath that GT3 and get the power down now. I've not lost too much time to Sharon here, so I've not done too bad. As long as I can stay within that 1 second gap, I feel I can keep the pressure on him.
P7.
I could do really well to turn 1. I can see Sharon. I'm not sure if that's net code. He's going to see that's cost him any time they're hitting that wall, but I do suspect it's net code here, as that has happened quite a bit in these races. Just got to be patient through there, let the car come round as I hit that late apex, and we have done well enough to stay 5 tenths behind Sharon here. Just got to keep that pressure going. Might have been a mistake, and there's another one. You can see he's sliding a bit in the hairpin. This is working for me at least. And we've still got a few laps here, so I don't have to rush this. I can wait for the opportunity, the mistake to come
faster class
to
car
me.
behind.
But if I can see an opportunity, we're getting this close up behind Sharon. I'm a bit wide there and a bit slow on the power. We've got another GTP behind us, so I'm going to give him the inside here, hoping it's not going to cost us too much. I'm going a little bit wide here. Get that off track.
Gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Now the GTP seems a little bit slower than me
10
through
minutes
here.
left. 10 minutes to go. Stay on it.
Sharon's not doing too well either behind us, but now he's going to start pulling that gap, so I get a slide on the exit. And unfortunately that GTP is already going to be ahead of him coming into sunset, which is not what we wanted to see.
You're coming up on a slower car.
So a lap later, we're still been chasing Sharon this entire time. Now this will be a crucial point. This GT3's really slowed him down here. This is going to be the opportunity I have been waiting for.
Don't give him a break.
And he can feel it. He's defending to the inside here, which is the right thing to do.
Side.
I'm going to try and hold him there as long as possible. And I'm going to go to the outside, trying to carry as much speed as I dare into sunset. But so is he. But it's compromised his exit, and I've been able to get the power down, so the fight is going to continue here into turn 1. But we've got another GTP catching up to us here, so I'm going to try and get a cutback and get on the power early. You can see he clatters that inside corner, but we've got the GTP to our inside, and I'm boxed in. Oh, that was my opportunity to get past Sharon. And unfortunately that GTP locks us in, stopping us from getting to the inside. I was a little annoyed at that point, and as I can see this GT3 is about to cut in between us, I feel that the opportunity has been lost. I'm not going to get that close again. As we can see, Sharon started to pull away from us now. Unfortunately, that was going to be it. Sharon started to really show his pace, and he drew a big gap to us, and unfortunately weren't able to make anything back. However, still, we are going to finish here in P7, which is up from where we started, and considering how strong this grid was, P7. I consider that a fantastic result for us. Now, it's been a really fun race here at Sebring, especially being back in the LMP2. So I hope this has been a good video for everyone watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. It really will help me here. And I will see you next time back in the LMP3.